why a student should choose LNMIT.
If you are a good performer at LNMIT, you will be as good as maybe a mediocre performer at IIT. Triple IT Hyderabad and LNMIT, they actually originated from the same idea called IIT Kanpur. What is happening now? Everyone is hooked to a 1/6-inch screen. Even if there is a group of 3 students in a triple-seater room, 3 of them, 3 corners, 1 screen each.
The next question was in popular demand from our college. It is about our institute's attendance policy. Why do we not have 0% attendance and why do we have 75% attendance?
If you have a freedom and you don't respect it, maybe you have to pay for it.
Namaste everyone. Welcome back to our channel. This is my first podcast with Associate Dean of Academic Affairs of LNMIT. So use this podcast if you are coming to LNMIT, if you are going to come to LNMIT, you will get to know about our college, everything. And even if you are in first year of any other college in India, this podcast will help you to lead an ideal life in your college. Thank you. Namaste Sandeep sir.
Hello.
Firstly, let me start by thanking you, trusting a newbie like me to interview you. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let us start the interview from your journey, from your childhood to being Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at LNMIT.
So I was born in Haryana, a small village there, and my father has been in central government services. So I have traveled from Haryana to Mizoram to Jalandhar and somewhere in the south throughout these years, in the schooling years. I finished my schooling in Jalandhar, 12th. Then I went to Triple IT Hyderabad for my BTech, MS, and then I had maybe 1.5 years with JP Group, and then I joined LNMIT in 2011. So for almost 12-13 years I am here.
So little bit about your JEE journey, from where did you prepare?
So in 2004 I completed my 12th. The same year I got admission in Triple IT. So in Jalandhar, those days FITGI was the nearest option, which was in Chandigarh, and that was 150 km away. So it was normally like private tuitions. You will go from one teacher to another. So 4 a.m. you will wake up, 5 to 6 5 to 6 was chemistry, 6 to 7 was physics. Then you go to school, then 2 to 3 maths, then come back, do everything. So no additional coaching center kind of thing that I joined anytime. So that was it. Those days it was IIT screening and then main IIT. So in that my rank was 3553 All India. So I was not getting any good seat in the IITs. My AIEEE was 1821. So then I got Triple IT. So I decided that.
So sir, what about your college life? What about Triple IT Hyderabad? Your experience?
Right. So a lot of people may not be knowing Triple IT Hyderabad and LNMIT, they actually originated from the same idea called IIT Kanpur. So 1998, Professor Rajiv Sangal, Professor Kohl, Professor Govind Rajulu and a few more, they were at the retiring age or in the peak of their careers. So they left IIT Kanpur and they started Triple IT Hyderabad. 2002, same thing, 5 professors, Professor V. Sinha, Professor Sharan, Professor Katyal, there was one professor in math. So 5 of them, they came and they set up LNMIT. So the foundation principle have been same. So that is why the time I spent in Triple IT or I spend in LNMIT, I find the same thing. So Triple IT is slightly different. There they have kept the focus on UG research. So you will find that even by the end of second year or third year, normally on an average, the students will have 1 or 2 good journals or conference publications. So this is the reason what we faced there was a very rigorous academic life. So there was obviously other elements like co-curricular things, sports was also there, cultural fests were there, everything was there. But the main focus 90% of the time was always on academics.
Is there any specific sport that you liked there?
I have played Kho at national level. I have played gymnastic at state level, gold medalist, and that has been in the school days. So all of these happened in 2 years. For 2 years, I was in Rohtak. Rohtak is a town in Haryana. So there, our school where I was, that had a huge focus on sports. So first I joined gymnastic. So in that 1 year only, we got through school level, district level, state level. And our school was like, if you are in the school team, that means you will definitely be in the district team. So it was like that. So next year we switched to Kho, and we had a gold medal in state, and 7 of our school friends, our classmates, they were chosen for the national, like Haryana team also. So after 8th, then I went to Jalandhar. So that time, then I switched mainly to studies.
What is your role exact as an Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at LNMIT? So basically, I want this conversation to be extremely basic and easy to understand for people joining a college for the first time. So what is the role of Associate Dean of Academic Affairs?
So see, the positions which are their administrative positions, their main role are two main things. One is making some policies which will define that how the students or the faculty member or the staff or basically the whole university will move ahead. You can make any policy, copy it from somewhere, or you get inspired, but then the next thing comes is implementation. You cannot take a Harvard model or Stanford model and put it in IIT, right? All the IITs also, when they started 50-60 years back, there was one mentoring US university, but it was not that their model was copied there. You have to adapt to the exact local demand. So at any institute, the role of administrative people should be in the same way. They take the best examples. They have studied various case studies. They have seen various successful models, that how IIIT Delhi in a very short time got so much success, right? Whereas there have been a lot of other IIITs with government support in the same model, but they are not at that level. So what is the difference that they had? So talk to their leaders, like Professor Pankaj Jalote, who has been the director of IIIT Delhi for a very long time. He has been associated with LNMIT also. So they give those insights that how or what they are doing. So one part of any administrator is that collect the best examples. Now let us say I take IIIT Delhi and they are doing certain great things. I cannot replicate them here. We'll have to see what is our audience, what is the aptitude of our students, what is their interest, what is their goal, and then adapt it, modify it, and then we bring that into the picture. There will be always a different factor which you will have to do by your own. So like if you see recently things like ACMB, which originated, like we studied what are other people doing for students who are not doing so great. So what can we do for them? So some things you have to do it by your own. Some of the things are great success models. You can adapt them. But as a good leader, you will have to make your own policies also. And then you have to ensure that they are implemented. So what we are trying to do here is one thing that I have tried to do in this 1 year is there are certain categories of students. There are toppers, self-motivated, they know everything. But there is a good number or a good population which is coming, which are not doing great in academics, who don't know what they will do at the end of 4 years. So we have started thinking and implementing things for them also. So that has been a major focus.
So, sir, now let's change the theme a little bit. Let us talk about an ideal life in college, how one should lead their college life. So, sir, if you remember, we had a chat in my first semester about my ups and downs, how I faced ups and downs in my first semester because I was not able to balance my extracurriculars and academics. So, at that time, you explained me the maths of CGPA, how to maintain a good CGPA. So, if you explain it again, it would be very helpful for our audiences as well.
So CGPA, although it is not a very rare word which someone will hear after coming to the college, because CBSE or I think some state boards also they have introduced. So idea is pretty much known to the students, but the number game changes in the college. What was happening in the school life, you have one final board exam, whatever you score there, based on that you get a CGPA. Here you have to compute your every day, that how this day will contribute to your CGPA. So let us say there is a 3 credit course, and in that 3 credit course there are 100 marks, and out of those 100 marks there is a 10 marks quiz, 10 marks assignment, 20 marks midterm, 40 marks end term. So now you have to start analyzing all of this in your brain, that okay, 40% of 3 credit, 1.2 credit lies in these 3 hours. So how much attention should I pay for this exam? Or if there is only a 2 marks quiz, so can I afford to miss it? These calculations you will have to do. So the balance which we talk about, that I have a major sports event or a cultural event and I have a quiz tomorrow. So if you have this clear, okay, it is a 10 marks quiz or it is a 2 marks quiz, then you will start finding the balance, that if I lose 10 marks or 15 marks, how much damage it will be for me. Or if I can, if it is a 2 marks quiz only, I can take it easy maybe. So the general or ideal, we will not say it is an ideal life, we will call it average life, okay. The average thing is you need to have certain respectable CGPA. And what will happen with that, I gave this example in the orientation also. Can you buy happiness with money? So a lot of students said yes or no. A lot of said no, we cannot buy, happiness is something in our mind and all. So then I asked another question, that would you like to cry sitting in a Ferrari or on a roadside, right? So then everyone said, so what is the reason? What is the analogy? There is no one in the world who is completely happy, not even a spiritual guru. There is absolutely no one who can say that I am happy with my life, there is absolutely no sadness. You will be sad, you will be crying. Now you have to decide what should be the reason for crying. When you have a good CGPA, good academic records, at the end of 4 years you will be crying like, oh, I did not get Google, I got only Amazon, or I did not get this. This will be your reason to cry. Or I wanted admission in this university, but I have to maybe settle for this one. But if you don't have an eligibility criteria cleared, if you are not even able to sit for a particular company, you will be crying and cursing yourself. So you have to decide that what should be your reason to cry. You will definitely cry. So that a respectable average CGPA will tell you the reason for your crying is what. Same thing will happen in your life. When you would have seen, maybe your parents would have seen it better. When you start a career, you would have seen in your family and circles also, there are many people who are hardworking, but they are living very mediocre life. They are not getting the same perks or packages or the salary as a successful person is getting, right? That person is also working 8 hours a day, and that hard working person is also working 8 hours a day. So that differentiation, where it comes from, that is a starting point of your career. If you make that differentiation there, the kind of leaps that you can take in your career will change. So sometimes parents also ask us, okay, my son, my daughter did not get IIT, he got LNM IIT, what will happen to him, right? We wanted the top institute, everyone wants that, right? So as a placement point of view, it's not a bad place, it's one of the good ones, at par with top IITs and IITs. But still someone have in mind, okay, how will we go to the top universities and all, or how will my career shape? So all these questions will keep coming in the mind. Eventually, if you are a good performer at LNMIT, you will be as good as maybe a mediocre performer at IIT, right? So it will be always in your hand how you will shape it.
So the crux basically is that we need to set up the starting point of our career.
The thing which Usain Bolt was differentiating, those initial 2-3 steps. So the first semester, the first year, which we say to every student, focus on one thing, the thing for which you came here, academics. Later, once you have a good, respectable CGPA in your hands, you will enjoy your sports more. You will enjoy your music more. You will enjoy your outings more. But if you don't have a good CGPA, that burden will always be there in your mind. You will always be worried, oh, I have to study, oh, I have to go and meet my friend. That dilemma will destroy both the things. So don't do that. First semester, first year, stay focused, then enjoy the 3 years.
It was really insightful, sir. Sir, next question is a bit serious one. Sir, what is your take on the suicides and mental health issues going on in engineering colleges? And the reasons could be many, academic and non-academic, but I want you to address the academic part of this issue.
When I talk to my colleagues, some of them says, all these mental issues, depression and all, there was nothing like that in our days, right? The reason is no one was talking about this in those days. Now there is awareness, people are talking about it. People were depressed that time also, people are, because the same kind of tensions were there that time also, same kind of tensions are this time also. Now there are some factors which I will say may have increased. For example, there is a student who is coming out of 12 years of rigorous studies, and then he thought, okay, let me relax. But as soon as he did that, he found that my pending load to cover the syllabus is so much. That is one reason. That means rigorous academic life, very fast academic life. Sometimes we have seen one more category of students who feel depressed because they think they have a lot of expectations from their parents, even if they are not saying. So they keep on thinking, oh, I have to do this for my parents, my family, and a small setback, if they are not able to cope up, they come into that shell, that what will I do in my life and all these things. I'll tell you one example, like when we were in IIIT first week, 2 weeks were gone only. I had a friend and we had a course called IT workshop, where the first thing we were taught was HTML. So we had to make our own personal web page. So what he did there, he wrote, okay, my target SGPA first semester 9.5. Okay, everyone writes that, right? It's a good thing. 2 weeks, there was one quiz and he got 8 out of 10. Immediately the first thing he did, target SGPA 8.5. So these self goals which we make, and we make ourselves under pressure due to these things. Sometimes I feel that is also one issue. When you will see sitting in a college day, and then you think my school life was so easy, there was no tension, right? Same thing when you will be in your professional life, 5 years into a professional life, you will say college life was so easy. Okay? So don't make it complex. Don't overthink. Academic pressure is there, and honestly, if you study maybe 1 or 2 hours per day, engineering academics can be taken care. It does not take more than that on a regular basis. But what happens that when we leave it, there is a spell of 10-15 days we are not studying at all, and then suddenly there is a quiz or some project submission and all, and we get a feeling of pressure. That is one more factor that I have seen. Expectations or self expectations. And one more thing which I feel is peer pressure, because when you are in a group of friends who are in the same rank, and then you find, oh, someone with lower rank getting more marks, what am I doing with my life? All these thoughts you should remove, and take life little easy. So at the end of the day, you should have a peaceful sleep without any thoughts in your mind. So, but what you said, the suicides or depression cases, they are increasing. There is no denial in that. And what I can feel, that someone who face any such symptoms should definitely come forward and talk to someone. One more reason I'll add here. When we were in our college days, hardly 1 or 2 used to have personal computers in the hostel room. So when we were playing or watching movies, playing video games and all, there is one computer, 10 students, 10 friends sitting. So it was a group. Okay. Before that, there was no computer, and also there were a lot of physical games. So the bonding, the grouping was more. You will hear it from your father that how they used to enjoy the college life and all, right? What is happening now? Everyone is hooked to a 1.6-inch screen. Even if there is a group of 3 students in a triple-seater room, 3 of them, 3 corners, 1 screen each, right? So what happens when someone start having these negative thoughts? They start isolating, and that isolating is more damaging. So one thing is, as a friend, if you start seeing that one of your friends is getting away, then you start meeting him more. So friends are the first one who will help. So that is one thing which we have started observing, that students are going in the shell because now everyone is separating. So that bonding should come.
Understood. And sir, apart from that, anything what institute is doing to solve these issues?
At institute level, from academic side, we have introduced this ACMB. But I'll tell you honestly, if you tell one person that you are not doing great, please meet this person and get the guidance, they will feel shy. They will feel hesitant. And we have felt it, but it is not a complete failure. I'll tell you the stats. Last year, 1/3 of the students, they actually came out of ACMB. That means they scored more than 5 CGPA. So it was fruitful. So academically, what we are helping them is giving academic mentors. But this problem is not so much academic, it is more on the mental side. So we have our psychological counselor also. We have a whole center called Center for Positive Health and Wellness. Professor Niyogi is leading that. Only thing that I can say is not in our hand is taking the initiative, the student will have to get in touch with us. And that can happen when the friends are monitoring each other. So please have a very close eye on such friends, those who are not talking so frequently, those who are in the isolation cell. When I meet such parents, like there is a just a random example, there is a one student, let us say he's already reached third year, fourth year, and now academic performance is low, their parents are coming, he is in isolation and all these things, and then we say, okay, have you talked to his friends? The answer which we hear 90% of the time, he has no friends. Okay, he was always on his own, he is studying alone, he is always in his own room 90% of the times. So I would say, as a student community, please take it as a responsibility. Do not leave anyone alone. Keep them engaged, and there can be a lot of issues that can be resolved by these mutual talks. Because when you start having these negative thoughts and you keep thinking in your own mind, they will grow. But if you share it with your friends, a lot of problems will be resolved. So that is one thing I would like to say. From institute side, as soon as anyone comes in our contact, we give academic mentoring, we give psychological mentoring, we even have a professional psychiatric doctor with us who can talk to student, their parents, anyone. So these are the things as an institute we are doing. Some of the things we would expect from students also.
So even my request would be that only, even if someone like that is not your friend, still if you are acquainted to that person, please talk to them. Please randomly in once a week, or please, yes, that is my request from my side.
And in the hostels and all, physical games, start giving more focus to them. You are already hooked to the screen. A lot of your time goes into various screens ranging from laptop, desktop to mobiles. Start having a little of off screen time. That will be more, the bonding will be better.
I agree. Sports does help.
Sports.
Let us lighten up the mood a bit. The next question was in popular demand from our college.
Okay.
It is about our institute's attendance policy.
Okay.
Why do we not have 0% attendance, and why do we have 75% attendance?
We used to have 0% attendance, right? So sometime what happens, if you have a freedom and you don't respect it, maybe you have to pay for it. So when we started having the feedback from teachers that I have a course of 100 students and 5 students are sitting, I am teaching 90 students and only 3 of them are coming. So then the things got little serious. There are academic mandatory provisions also, UGC and all, they have given these mandates that you need to have attendance policy and all. We could have skipped that because for so many years we were not having it, and there were a lot of discussions. Finally it was decided, okay, let us put some certain minimum threshold which is 75 as a standard everywhere in India. And Y22, I think Y22 was the first batch when they came here. First semester when they were here, there was no attendance. Second semester when they came, in their second semester we put the attendance criteria for them. Statistically there was a difference of 0.7 SGPA in 2 semesters. Okay, so sometimes if the things cannot be done with love, we'll have to take the stick. So fourth year we normally keep it very lenient because that is the year when you have to shape your career. So that is fine. But what I can say, things were taken very leniently, and now we are getting some positive output or the feedback from students also, that maybe their daily routine is getting better. Earlier they used to sleep at 3 AM, skipping the whole day, having lunch, no classes. So some of the things are coming better. We heard this from placements officer also, that attendance has helped them. Let us see. It is only 1 year that we have done it. Right now, statistically, the results are positive, but we will always be open to hear more ideas.
I think the only disadvantage, according to me, is about the self-study part of that. Due to the attendance policy, the self-study time gets little bit decreased.
Right.
But still, if the stats are saying, then it is definitely.
No, that is stats we can share. Why we don't share it openly? Because there is always a data breach that we have to take care. So we present all these statistics in our deans or HOD meeting when we meet with director. So it is, I am very logical person. I'll talk with logic and facts. So when I present something, first thing I will show them is the numbers. Okay, so this happened in 2022-23 odd semester. This is my CGPA, this is my average and all. Then 22-23 even, these are my stats. And even if 1% of it came from attendance, let us continue with attendance.
So last question in this segment is about the current recession going on.
Okay.
Like students are genuinely afraid if they will get placements or not. So I really wanted to know our institute's take on it and what measures we are taking to attract more and more companies for placements.
I can diplomatically say you should ask TPC about it, but I have on a 15-day or monthly basis I meet our training placement officer, that and director always keep asking him on a weekly basis what is the progress. There are certain principles that we have followed and we are still following. That means not calling the mass companies, recruiting hundreds and showing to the world we got 100% placement. Okay, that is one thing. We are still calling, I asked Manuj, I think 15th March, around that I had met him just 1 week back. He told our average placement for this year is still 13.5 lakhs, the average package. So we have focused on quality. The issue which is recession, due to which what is happening, earlier when a company used to come and hire 20 people, now they are taking 4 or 5. And that is where I would say you will have to focus on your CGPA is the minimum thing, plus the soft skills, the technical skills. One thing Manuj told us that, sir, there are, let us say, X students who are not placed. And why they are not placed? When they were calling them in their 6th semester that please come and attend these trainings, the special workshops, those overconfident people thought we will do it ourselves. Some of them never contacted the placement office thinking that they will do it by their own. So when someone is extending a help, please take it. As far as our placements are concerned, the season will be longer, which used to get wrapped up in 3-4 months. Now it will extend till the end of year. We always have word with Manuj. Director is always in direct touch with him. It is one of our prime concern. And but there are certain principles which we will not violate, like calling a very low paying mass recruiter kind of thing. So those are the things which we have always done. We will always follow those. But okay, I'll tell you one more thing. Like 15 days back, I got a call from one of the parents. Their daughter is in 3rd year, I think, 8.5 CGPA. They were worried. Okay, so it is not that someone with a 6 or 6.5 is worried. Everyone is worried, and there is no denial that there is a recession, but we are also getting good packages, good placements. We got a decent one this time. What Manuj told me, what is the differentiator? Earlier, the top 50% of the students, they used to get placed in 15-20 days only. And then the competition for the remaining 50%, you have remaining 3 months and you keep fighting for the remaining companies. Now what is happening, those top companies are coming and they are hiring very few. So even in the later months, the good candidates are there and competing with the average ones. So the competition increased. So if you don't brush up your technical and soft skills, you will be maybe not in that very good position. So that's what Manoj told me, that we will have to be extra prepared in this recession thing. And another thing which we have seen as a decline, as a trend in the institute, is the perception toward higher studies. In 2012, 13, 14, our batch strength used to be 220. And out of those 220, 20-30 students used to go for their MS in USA, Europe, Singapore and all. And now we have 600, we don't have that number. So recession, take it as an opportunity. If you have anything in mind related to higher studies, it may be MBA, MS, MTech, anything, this will be the best thing to do, because recession normally lasts 1 or 2 or 3 years. So if you are able to absorb that shock by taking additional skills, additional degree, it will give you more fruitful results.
So one solution is pursue masters,
Yes.
go for higher studies. And sir, one more solution which I was thinking about, it's a very raw one. Why don't we call startups which are not in the initial phase but pretty much established startups? Why don't we call them? Because I think even they need employment, they need good employees.
We are calling, Manoj have given me the list, and yesterday only we cleared one of the internship which will be converted into full time. It was from a startup in Bangalore only. The issue is still the same. When the company will come, they will hire only 1, 2, 4 is the issue. The number of companies which visited us is same as last year. There is no decline in the numbers. But the difference is, when Samsung used to take 49, now they are taking 10 or 15. When any big company used to take 20, now they are taking 5. And imagine Amazon level candidate getting rejected in Amazon and now competing for other companies. So the average students are also suffering. So I think maybe I am not so sure about what will happen globally, but what we had talks with Manoj and Director Sir, that we will keep pushing for quality. Students would need to have better skills, that means better academic background plus technical and soft skills. Do not miss those soft skill sessions, and be ready for a master's also. That will be a best thing to do. Our director at IIIT 2008 and 9 was also a recession year when we were graduating. So he also suggested us the same thing. A lot of students who had taken admission into a 4-year program, they converted into a dual degree, because that gap which is used to come for 1 or 2 years, the shock in the market, which was 2009, it peaked. So some of them even left the industry, like those who were fired and all, they came back, they joined the masters, and 2 years everything was normal, went back to a better position. So it can be one of the strategy if we are not getting a very nice healthy placement package from the UG level. That can also be.
So now let's move on and talk about our institute, LNMIT. As the JEE season is going on right now, after a few months there will be surge of new faces and energy in our institute. So I want you to explain why a student should choose LNMIT, how this institute stands apart among its counterparts, and what are the few measures in terms of infrastructure and academics we are taking to improve our overall experience of the student?
Okay. So the best thing which we hear from parents and students is that you will not be lost in a herd. So we take very less quantity. We always focus on quality. As all of you know, no policy for any sort of reservation. Everyone will be admitted just based on one thing, which is their merit. So this is one thing which we hear from students, parents, everyone. They are proud of it, that they get a very good peer group. All of their friends are equally intelligent. So, and because the numbers are less, everyone will get a chance to show their identity, that what are the special things they have. If you have a group of 5 friends, you will have 5 different personalities. But so let us say you are in a mechanical department, 60 students, 60 different skills, 60 different leaders. Everyone will be getting a chance to showcase that what they are special in. In your life, you will see throughout these 4 years, you will have certain courses where you will love it so much. You will excel in those courses, right? So when you are in a small group, you will feel proud that I know this course better than anyone, right? So there will, some of you will be excellent in coding, right? You will feel proud that I am the best coder in the institute. So when you have a small quality based group, that exposure, the confidence, the grooming that you get cannot be matched anywhere else. So this is the best thing which I can say about LNMIT, the quality, less number of students and good grooming. And Jaipur is a great city to live. I am here for the same reason. And then the campus, the life is not like which you have a city hustles and all. You get a very relaxed life, everything you enjoy here. So that is also there. Coming to the infrastructure, we have everything now, ranging from hostels. They are getting ready. So even I think we are expecting a maybe slightly more number of students this year, and for them we have already built extra hostels. Our internet facilities are as par with any top institute. Library is top notch. Hostel life, I can say, is one of the best which you will see. Not much of the restrictions, although it is not at par with Triple IT where I was. There was no time restriction. It was 24-hour open. So maybe slowly we will move to that direction also. But everything as a student for 4 years which you need, as a parent you can be tension free when you leave your ward at LNMIT.
Anything about future, what we are building? Like
Okay.
I have heard about the AI.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll tell you the brief journey. 2002 we started LNMIT. There was one branch, CCE. Maybe 99% of the viewer will not know that that was our first branch. Okay, CCE is what we started with. Because it was such a unique branch, within 2 years we got the university, deemed university status just because of that branch. Okay, then at that time our batch strength was 60. Then in 2008 we added CSE and EC, around 200 batch strength. 2013 we added mechanical. So every 4 or 5 years we are doing something. And 2017 we added more seats. Now 2022-23 we decided that now we will be moving and having a huge leap on the research side. 2017 onward we have started setting up small research centers. We have 9 of those research centers, and considering AI to be the main thing for the future, the institute has proposed something in the range of 200 crore or 400 crore 200 is I think for the building only, to set up a center which is to be matched at any center of excellence at any good IIT. It will be established by 2025-26. So at LNMIT it will be a new building, new set of people, a new set of courses, plus all of our students will interact with them. So that is going to be the next big thing that we are going to bring.
This is the end of our interview, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And any last words for our students?
No, I would say that you are here for 4 years. You will not realize how fast these 4 years will fly. I joined my BTech exactly 20 years ago. And I remember everything of that. Okay, so you will enjoy these 4 years for rest of your life and live the best that you can. Okay, that's all.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, sir. So this was our first podcast. I hope you liked it. Do share your reviews and opinions in the comment section below. Thank you.